Hello, hello. Welcome to today's messages. Let's tune in. 432 hertz. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Yes. Welcome to today. I hope you are doing good. Feeling the love. Feeling this gorgeous opportunity to choose love, to be love, to feel love, to have love, to hold love, to honor love, to celebrate love, to persistently choose the love with your persistence. Is that the one that wants to come out today? Persistence and hope. Beautiful. We'll take them. And inner abundance on the bottom. Persistence and hope. Yes. Persistently, non-resistantly. Hopefully. Hopefully devoted to you. Get in there. Yesterday's reading, there were a barrage of charms, and I felt like there was one hidden. And this morning, it was up here. A cheetah. So I've put the cheetah on my selenite tower. So this is fast-moving energy. Yes, gorgeous. Okay. The movements of the cheetah. It also suggests making sure you are very much certain of where you're headed before you start running, because the cheetah picks up speed quickly, and it is also harder to stop if you're going in the wrong direction, right? So precision, preciseness, intending, vision, focus, point of focus, a mindful awareness of. Okay. What Arcturians? What do they want us to know? To focus on, to be aware of, to consider, to marinate upon. Time shift, right? Yes. This is why it's important to be persistent in your hopefulness, because shifting timelines are happening and you want to make sure you're on the right side of the shift, and your frequency is the chooser of the side, right? Yes. time shift. So there may be some feelings of time moving really fast and time moving really slow. And so maintain your presence, persist in your presence of hopefulness. The song that I had stuck in my head this morning was Celebration Time. Come on. It's your celebration. Right? Ding, 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 ding. Okay, let's get a room. Stone. Gorgeous. What is the most... Oh, a bee! A bee just came up and looked in the window and flew away. Yay! See? Celebration time. Come on. And I'm wearing my bee charm. Do 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 do. Bow, bow. Okay, what's the next one besides the bee? We had the bee yesterday. Berkano, the fecund and fertile mama hair. Right? This is what I'm talking about. All those little green shoots. Oh, see? That cheetah is fast. It just took off, shot off. All those little sprouts, those green sprouts, the shoots, the things that are peeking or poking. This is hope, right? More than hope. Okay, you going back in there. Okay, where are we? Let's get Berkano out here. Birth, sanctuary, fertility, life change, and secrets, right? Because you've laid an egg and we don't know what's inside, but it's gorgeous, right? So we make sure that it is safe, that it is protected, that it is warm, that it is loved. We nurture it with our hope of it being healthy and bountiful and gorgeous, right? Okay. In the springtime, fertile and fecund mama hare brings forth an abundance of new life. She is the great mother and fiercely protective. The timeless cycles of the earth flow through her generation after generation. Berkano holds within it the mature female wisdom of our mothers and our grandmothers. Berkano speaks of female fertility and also of the safety and shielded sanctuary of the womb. The egg is a womb, right? When this rune appears in a reading, there may be a birth of a child, an idea, or even a new goal. Perfect. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Abundance. Yes, gorgeous. Gorgeous. Persistence. To be persistent. Persistently hopeful that your ships are coming in. Yes, that the egg will hatch, right? That the green sprouts will bloom. I can see them in my yard right now. All the little leaf buds starting to open up on my rose bush, which I still haven't trimmed, and I've got a lilac bush, and its leaves are starting to poke, and then all the cottonwoods, all their sickly sweet leaf buds. That sickly sweet stuff is actually medicinal too. So if you find some on the ground, pick those. Careful because it'll get sticky, but it's a sticky sweet, right? But you can infuse it, and it's gorgeous. It's like I rolled around in a cottonwood branch. Okay. That's what I was going for. There's you in the center of your world, celebrating, dancing, engaging creatively, authentically, expressively. And in doing so, you create this beautiful resonance, and that pulls in, aligns, grounds, centers, right? Opportunities start to flow. This is that positive feedback loop. This is the torus field, the thyroidal frequency magnetism. Yes, look it up. Look it up. We are electromagnetic beings, emitting, transmitting, and receiving constantly. And what we're learning is that we are not, we don't have to be, I was going to say like a victim to it. We can be the operator. We can choose what we transmit and what we receive. We're not a unwilling participant. No, sometimes we can be. Until we know better, right? We don't know that we can be. So we go through our life not knowing. We're just wide open and things are coming and going and we're like, right? Part of this work and this healing is the regulation of the nervous system. The sovereign way is that taking control of your system. Yes, to dictate what and when and where and how. Okay, we got the Three of Swords. We got some pains and emotional wounds. Okay, so what is that? This is holding the frequency, persisting with hope, even through our awareness of pains, right? Also, the trials and tribulations of our own heart is part of the process of embodiment, of empowerment. That's an interesting thing. It's like I could just see like coming across this thing that's overgrown, and you're like, what is this place? I'm weirdly drawn to it. And you start, it's probably because of spring cleaning, right? But you start pulling the weeds and trimming and uncovering, and you discover, this doorway into your heart space, right? The secret garden is your heart, is in your heart. And we are conditioned away from it, right? And so it's about the rediscovery and the re-nurturing. There's lots of beautiful things in there that just need nurturing. And as I say that, I'm drawn to this plant here. I've got this cutting that really needs to be repotted. But the thing that caught my eye was this little guy, this new leaf being born from this one, or off of this one. Well, it's actually from this little node, but look at it. Very cool. So birthing the new. Beautiful. The hope and possibility, the potential. Okay. So maintaining your flow, right? Because there's all kinds of pain and torment and awful things in this world. We don't have to look far to find it. This is why it's a mindful choosing, right? A persistent. We're shifting the timeline, holding the frequency of love to shift into love. And so vibrationally, you are actually helping all by doing this. So the ego can coin things to look like, oh, you're being avoidant, or you're in denial, or you don't care, or whatever, trying to push you away from love into something less than, right? It's like those people who, they focus on another part of the world somewhere else that is awful and struggling and in pain, and they can't be present in their own because of it, because they feel guilty, because they think that if they are being present in their own and it is joyful and prosperous and happy, that it somehow is disrespectful or in denial of the things that are outside of our control on the other side of the world, right? Or even next door, right? But this energy work that we're doing, we're raising the frequency of the planet, right? For the good of all. And it doesn't help anyone, especially on the other side of the world, for you to embody the pains of someone else. It never helps. It doesn't help the person in pain. If you're in a position where you can actually physically somehow help another, then yes, do this, right? But do this from a place of love. Do this from a place of community and support, and not out of guilt, right? Guilt is a low vibrating frequency. And it's like someone is drowning and they're covered in weights. So no matter what you do, you can't save them. You can't pull them out of the water. They need to let go of the weights first and meet you halfway, show that they actually want to be saved. Otherwise, you just drown with them, right? Not helping anybody. You standing on the dock being like, let go of the weights, swim this way, I'll throw you this thing, right? That's more helpful, because then they're like, oh, that person over there, must be nice to just stand on a dock, right? Not have to be treading water all the time and freaking holding all these dang things. It's trying to drown me, and you're like sipping on a mojito and or a pina colada. I just really like pineapple and coconut and lime thought. Okay, I think, is that what's in pina coladas? Anyways, yes. Okay, so persistently holding the frequency of love for the good of all, persistently holding the frequency of hope for the good of all. This is how you contribute to the world. This is how you help the collective raise the frequency by being an example. I was there. I used to be you. Drowning constantly, struggling, treading, exhausted, muscles exhausted. What did you do? Well, I learned how to let go of all the things. And then what? And then I learned how to float. And then what? And then this dock appeared because I was now floating with the currents of the universe, and it brought me to this dock. And then I just got up onto it and was like, ah. And then this passionate person appeared with a pina colada and was like, here you go, welcome. And I was like, woohoo, right? Okay. Celebration time, come on. It's your celebration. Okay, so this is fast moving energy. Yes, okay, the star just fell onto the earth. The star fell upon the earth. So this is validating for me your healing. You're meant to be an example of what the healing journey looks like and what it means to shine, right? Stars are meant to be shiny and bright in the sky, and they become a beacon. They don't dim their shine, they don't lower their shine, they don't come out of the sky and frolic on the earth anymore, because they know, like a guiding light, like the North Star, right? They are a guidance system for millennia. I don't know how long. I just wanted to say that word. People have been guided by the stars. Well, this is what you are. You are a guiding light. And I've got the goosebumps to prove it. Okay? So, yes. Oh, Zaza. Oh, Zaza. Okay, this is what you're celebrating. This is who you're celebrating with. Someone, another star. Okay, that's the other thing. When you elevate, right? Yes, there are those you are leaving behind. Not forever, until they figure out how to elevate, right? This is enlightenment, right? They are enlightening themselves, filling themselves with liquid sunshine. They glow, they shine, they sparkle, right? This is the coal into diamond process of healing. Diamonds are earth stars, okay? Beautiful. And there are those who have done the similar things up there as well, other stars that you can shine bright with. and hold that frequency, hold that signal, right? This way, this way, this way, the beauty way. What is that? I came across that, the beauty way. I'm going to Google it. I'm gonna Google it. Okay. So this is beautiful. This is gorgeous. And this is fantastic. So beautiful reciprocating partnerships are coming in as your justice, okay? As your rewriting, as your balance, as your comeuppance for the work that you've done and your steady persistence with hope, right? This is what faith is. And the faithful will be rewarded with fecundity. Okay? This is what you are shifting into, a time of abundance. And get your mind out of the money is the only kind of abundance I can think of mindset, because abundance is above and beyond this one-dimensional artifact. There is your energy is actually the most important commodity, and having an abundance of energy, you're like the cheetah, right? Able to move efficiently and quickly. Okay, what's this? Oh, it's the King of Wands. Okay, landing on the Two of Cups. This is energy of focus, action taken passionately. Being a leader, being one who stands out from the crowd, right? And in their beautiful, shining, authentic gorgeousness. The King of Wands holds the vision, balanced. Wow. Look at this. Everything's falling on the Two of Cups now. The Magician. Okay. Gorgeous. Yeah. Alchemy. Alchemy. You, why am I saying it that way? Alchemy. 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 Weird. Okay. Yes. This is gorgeous. Balance your one of your biggest takeaways from this experience is learning how to transmute pain, right? This is the recognition that pressure and heat transforms coal into diamonds, and there's no other way to reach the diamond state. In this recognition, in this part of how this looks in the alchemical world, is your perspective shift, right? When I was younger, I didn't like pain. Okay, it was obvious. I didn't like how it made me feel. I didn't like all the things. And so I became determined to master it. And I started to not necessarily seek it out, but when pain happened, I almost celebrated it because it gave me the opportunity to try and master it. And what I would do is I would focus on the pain. And it felt almost like cauterizing, like my intense focus upon it would like burn into it And then when I stop and release, it was less painful. Does that make sense? Which I kind of think like, that's why I think cauterizing, because, you've got a pain and then somebody's like, okay, bite on this because I'm going to, cauterize it. And then there's this like intense searing, right on top of the spot, right? And you're like, nah, or whatever, biting on things so you don't swallow your tongue, which I almost did. And, um, sorry, I just got a phone call coming in here. Just let it go. Okay. And then the minute that they stop, it's like a relief, right? Like, oh, even though this is like pain on top of pain. Anyways, something like that. So, where was I going with that? The self mastery of something. Okay. And then I got to a stage where pain was just another thing, right? Pain became something celebrated, something like a reminder that we are alive, that we can bleed, that we can heal, that we can overcome, that we can adapt, right? I often get cuts and things on my hands because I'm very handsy. And, if it's on the tip of a finger or whatever, I have to adjust and not use that finger as much, or I am become aware of how much I actually do use that finger, right? Yes, so this is part of the alchemical state, is now because of your processing, because your recognition that there are certain things that are necessary. When pains and hurts show up, when adversary and less than ideal circumstances, people, places, and things show up, it's not the end of the world. It's like, ooh, this is an opportunity to alchemize, right? This is more fuel for my fire. This is just going to make my fire burn brighter, right? Your approach, the way you move, the way you engage changes and shifts. This is part of the alchemy magic of the magician. This ability to turn things, one thing, into something else that serves, right? Yes. Okay. Oh. Okay. So stepping out of comfort zones and people. Okay, we've got the people who are to or for you, or for or against you, people drawn to you, people following the light, right? But there's going to be those who are projecting upon you things within themselves that they don't want to see or acknowledge. And there's going to be dismissiveness, right? There's going to be, oh, you're just this or that because, you had it easy. And if you had my life, then you wouldn't be able to do all this stuff, right? There's this projection and what it is. And this is also how your vision, your ability to see and understand that this is different stages along the healing path. And we've all been there or are going to be there, right? And so there's a little bit less of this need to correct or to make them see the truth, right? This is about standing in your truth, not about over efforting to convince someone who has not developed the receiver for that information, right? Does that make sense? Something like that. Okay. Yes, it's also, the people who contributed to your defense systems in the past, right? These people are also, they're all holding arrows. And so, I don't know if you can see that. And it's almost like, this could be the mob who's coming against you. She's different, burn her, right? And this experience has made you create boundaries around yourself, defense systems to guard yourself against that kind of thing, especially being an empath. I know for me, being neurodivergent, autism, and ADHD, I've been misunderstood and projected on my entire life. People have accused me of being all of the things. Judgmental is huge because I observe out loud and I'm literally not judging when I observe. An example, my a person that I knew in the past, um, we were out somewhere and I stepped outside and noticed it was raining. And so I said, "Oh, it's raining." That's all I said. "Oh, it's raining." I am literally observing in real time. No judgment has been made about it other than I just noticed out loud that it is raining. And this person was like, "Oh, well, it's fine. I'm sure it's not going to last all day. And, we'll get you an umbrella." And like they immediately moved to trying to fix something, or like in a way was accusing me of complaining. That's the another thing I used to always get, complaining, because I observe things out loud. And then the more I try to explain that, where I'm like, "No, actually, I'm just observing," then it's like, "No, you're not." Right now, and then it turns into, now I'm arguing about my truth with somebody else, and I spent years doing that, right? And they just refused because they're looking from through their own lens. They're projecting their own tendency to judge, to complain upon you, right? And those are the people, places, and times where you just observe quietly, right? Where you're like, "Oh, you're not actually able to receive my truth, perceive my truth. So bye," right? Okay. So, a necessary process. This whole coming out, you are interacting with people differently. You are recognizing the things differently. When somebody, messages you after months of no contact and they just want to know what you're up to and what your plans are and who you're hanging out with and what you're doing or whatever, you can now be like, "I don't need to, you don't need to know. There's no good reason for you to know any of that. And I don't need you to know that either. So bye." Right? Yes. This is why it is safe now to step out, to leave the confines, because we've gone through the process. We understand, we are in various stages of, and can recognize and can create boundaries. We've reestablished what love means. Love does not mean over explaining. Love does not mean overdoing, over giving, over. We're over it, right? Love starts with balance and peace and collaboration, compassion. that give and take, holding space, honoring, reciprocation, right? Okay. So I feel like you're grounding in this state of only accepting equal give and take, right? You're not jumping at crumbs tossed to you haphazardly. Because the thing that you also recognize, or we also recognize, is that the people who are throwing crumbs aren't really throwing them at you. They're throwing them out, hoping anybody. They'll take anybody who nibbles on their crumbs. Oh, here's someone who's going to take my crumbs? Excellent. Here's another one, just to make sure that you keep coming back. Oh, here's another one. Actually, I'm going to give you a nice slice of cake so that you're like, oh yeah, this is the love bombing part. Anyways, okay, we're getting too far on that. Let's re-center back into our persistent love vibe. It's easy to slip away. This is why this is persistence, right? This is why we don't engage in those things. This is why we don't need to argue or defend, because it pulls us in. Think of arguing and defending with another person as you getting into the water beside them as they are struggling. The closer you get, the more access they have to grab onto you, latch onto you, and now you're drowning or doing all the work so that they can rest, right? This is the thing. This is what we do. And now we are struggling and trying to hold up two people in the water. And they're like, if you stop, if you let me go, it's all going to be your fault. And we're like, no, I can't handle having things my fault. Or, you're going to be upset or disappointed in me. Oh no, I better kick it up a notch. I better eat my can of spinach. I don't know why we went to Popeye. Okay. I think that's it. I think that's it for these guys. Okay. Let it go. Let it flow. Oh, these ones. Oh, love it. This one wanted to come out. These two just dropped out. The ring and the moths. The lovebirds, the two swans. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay. For reals. I mean, it's all for reals, right? Signs and synchronicities, the things that line up. I mean, I'm at a place right now where things are intertwining on multiple levels, multi-dimensional signs and synchronicities. It's wild. It's beautiful. Gorgeous. Okay, this is the Gentle Chaos book. What do you call it? Deck. The forest floor is what we got here. There is magic here in the veins of every plant, running under every fern and throughout the forest floor. The forest floor is a reminder that everything is connected. Beautiful, especially as a follow-up to my whole multi-dimensional signs and synchronicity spiel that I just had there. Okay. Yes, also a confirmation for me, because I had decided that I was going to go for a walk in the forest after these messages. Okay, let's get love messages. Okay, release the resistance. Yes, every time you are trying to do something, especially for other people, it is resisting, it is effort. This whole flow state is effortless, right? It's being in the right place at the right time to help the right people at the right time, not to say other people are wrong, okay? This is about flow. This is about frequency. This is about non-resistance. Protect your energy. Yes. This is what we're learning, right? There are lots of vacuous spaces that want to, that facade as things and want to pull us in, right? It's not about, a lot of the times it's unawareness. People who are drowning because they refuse to let go of the weights that are pulling them under. That is part of the process. This is something we all had to endure in order to learn to let go, to float, to flow, and then to arrive to the safe place, right? Where then it's time to rest because you're like, this is weird. I've just been treading water for 50 years, right? Okay. Speak your truth. Yes. In the knowing that sometimes to speak your truth is to not speak. Don't underestimate the power of silence, the power of non-reaction, the power of non-engagement. Okay? That speaks your truth louder than words can sometimes. Okay, quiet the mind. I know that part of the process of being misunderstood by others is to try and think your way around it. If I said it this way, if I coined it this way, if I had the right PowerPoints, if I had the right, visual diagrams, and then maybe they'll understand, and then they will accept me, then they will recognize me, then they will understand, right? And none of that is your business. It's not your business to ensure another understands you. They either do or they don't. And this is this timeline shift. We're moving into that sovereign place of recognition, right? Recognizing when it is someone to engage with and when it is someone not to engage with, right? Okay. And we got sexy bath time. Yes, this is another way to protect your energy is through spirit baths, Epsom salts, intentions, right? Water is programmable. And so program your water, your bath water with love, with light, with protection, with healing, and then soak in it, marinate in it. Okay. Yes. And take a risk. Okay. When you have the passionate, clarity to move, to engage, to act, then do it, right? Even if I think it always requires a risk to act. This is why it's the masculine energy. It rises it with courage, right? The courage to do. We embody courage every day that we don't celebrate or recognize. The courage to stand up, the courage to face the day, the courage to exist, right? There's so many levels of courage. And so take a risk when your first instinct is to do, but then you have this, right? That's your fear. That's your opportunity to rise up and face it and overcome it and see what happens, right? The exploration. With great risk comes great reward. You're risking either way. You're risking missing out, losing out on the thing that you didn't risk going for by not going for it, right? So persist in your love and know that it is all for your greatest and highest good. If it's not going to be something that is for you, it is going to be something that empowers you, which is for you, right? You're turning everything into for you. It's either not love, alchemized, love fuel, love fuel, not love, alchemized, love fuel. You know what I mean? Okay. Yes. Okay, let's do some charms really quick. Yay. Ooh, aw. Okay. Okay, there is the reading from afar. Okay, what do we got here? We've got this feather. Okay, this is my dream catcher feather. And so, your dreams, trust your dreams. If you are having dreams, they are telling you things. Okay, so be open to the things that they are telling you. We've got the releasing here. Yes, this is also this transmutation, right? You're taking the old, you are turning it into fertilizer, fuel for your fire. We've got the Monstera plant, which I think it's like a sign of prosperity and luck, if I remember correctly, which, sometimes I don't. Then we've got the Hecate, Maiden Mother Crone, boy, father, man, old man. I don't know. What's the equivalent of the male crone? I don't know. Wise elder, right? The child, the nurturer, and the wise elder. It covers everybody. I prefer that. Okay. Transformation. Your transformation is taking off. You are ready to fly. Okay, we've got the balance. Yes, this is the turning one thing into another. This is the process of alchemy, transmutation that you learned through your healing of your own heart. What is this? We've got the unicorn, okay, stepping out of your comfort zones in order to be your gorgeous magical self. We've got the flow here, going with the flowing. You will knowing when to speak and when to stand, right? Yes. Then we've got quality. Okay, quality time, quality people, quality engagements, and use of your energy, your energetic stores. Your energy is your currency. How you spend it matters. Where you direct it matters. Be mindful. We've got the angel. Okay, this one has a message made for an angel. You are an angel up in the sky, shining bright and gorgeous. Okay, we've got the cat that can see things that most people can't see, right? They can see through dimensions. So trust what you see with your third eye, with your knowing. Okay, cats are very good at the boundary game, unless they were conditioned out of it, I guess. Then we have this becoming. Okay, so I feel like this is the becoming of others. This is the influence of your star shine, your influence on the world that you have in aiding other people's transformation process, which is beautiful. We've got the look within fish, look within when it comes to people, right? How does it feel? Not what they're saying, not the external package. People can master the facade, right? Now it's about feeling, going within, trusting your inner guidance on who, when, what, where, and how. Okay, but some of these people are going to be your soul tribe, are going to be home, family, love, gorgeousness. Okay. Yes. Yes, it's all over the place. We had the two swans show up earlier with the gentle chaos deck. Okay, so beautiful, gorgeous things persist in your love frequency tending, and your hope and your faith and your trust, which is faith, I guess. Okay, beautiful. Beautiful, gorgeous. Oh, yes, it is. I'm just going to reach in and grab a kitty card. I grabbed that one. The road less traveled. Meet Silvio Silvermaw. You won't find him on the well-worn paths of habit and normalcy. However, if you brush away the spiderwebs and circle around the giant trees, you will find Silvio wandering down a path with no paw prints. This road less traveled is often obscured by errant wildflowers and ferns, but if you look for it with an open mind, you will see its peculiar winding way. Turn off the main road and try something new. A new hobby, a new belief, a new way of doing something, a new perspective on a familiar situation. If you usually go right, experiment with going left. Beautiful. And this is in line with Percano, right? The birth of the new ideas. And you're passionately moving upon the newness that makes you feel like this on the inside. Okay? Yes. Beautiful. Have a gorgeous day. Go frolic in the forest if you can. Love and appreciate you. And I will see you next time. Hopefully, love you. Bye.